Rotomolding, compared to other processes, offers a couple unique attributes. The easy ones that come to mind would be we have the capability of doing very short production runs on very large and complicated products, whereas other processes typically lend themselves to very long production runs, especially if they're simple. So rotomolding is very well suited to some low volume manufacturing, which is great for entrepreneurs, or some people even use rotomolding as a prototyping process to kind of gauge some market acceptance.
First of all, I was born into it, so yeah, I like it a lot. But I think, to be honest, manholes for rotational molding I think is very interesting. If we, let's say 1% of the manholes in the world was produced with rotomolding, I think rotomolding would be twice as big as it is today.
The US market specifically has reached a level of maturity in terms of the products that have been developed. So it's necessitating that there's an infusion of new ideas, new technologies, new fertile minds from which ideas can spring. And what I'm seeing right now is there's a tremendous amount of investment taking place really throughout the industry, from a supplier standpoint to a molder standpoint, in trying to build a product with a lot more added value. We do great as an industry with very functional parts, industrial parts. We're seeing development of really cool sort of consumer-focused products. And to me, that's exciting. I think we are understanding that there is a consumer demand for rotational molding. Now as an industry, we're starting to proactively generate ideas and new products that we can attract that market.
As tool makers, we all have to be thinking about tighter tolerances. We have to be thinking about better looking parts, finishes as it pertains to better looking parts. And then the operation of a mold itself. There's more automation going into it these days. There are more parts that are going on to molds that make them easier to operate and allow us to make more sophisticated products.
The fact that there's so much energy in the industry, to see people so excited, and just the kind of people we're dealing with. There's so much passion, and I think that's probably the most exciting thing about it. There's nothing holding us back at this stage, just going forward. It's awesome.
The industry is demanding faster cycles, more process control, more weight capacity, and larger parts. And we are really designing machines to accommodate all of those.
An industrial designers has lots of possibilities to design. When they are designing products, they can take the benefits of rotational molding. It's not anymore like just the one material and just the one kind of, let's say, like a steel mold.
I think there's a lot of energy that hasn't been here for the last couple of years. I mean, I've been walking around this show today, and everybody's talking about new stuff. And not only are they talking about new stuff that they have now, but they're talking about new stuff that they want to do in the future, which is good. And there's a bunch of molders that want to try that new stuff.
We've had companies like Yeti have turned the rotomolding industry on its head a little bit in terms of pushing the boundaries. They've really stretched the industry in terms of quality expectations and performance.
And it looks like industrial design is making a huge impact in the way the products look, the markets that they're trying to penetrate, and the products are actually starting to take on aesthetically very powerful images, and that's what's exciting to me. You're creating sculpture. You have a true three-dimensional object, and you can start to introduce functionality into the product. You get a complete piece. It's a piece of sculpture, and when you use imagination and you start applying it to that, you get real magic.
I think the most exciting thing to me about the industry is the global basis that the industry has moved towards. Just in this day of information and technology with the internet and Twitter and Facebook, the industry has gone global. And it's the same way in rotational molding. It's become accessible to everyone from China to Europe to the United States. And I really see it becoming a real international industry.
I think there's a lot of automation, a lot of new science that's going into rotational molding. That's the most exciting thing to us.
My project is the hospital wagon, designed specifically for pediatric use. It changes the typical radio flyer wagon to one that is in a reclining position. This is so that children who aren't able to bend their legs or have full motion in their legs can sit peacefully and not be crammed in a wheelchair the whole time.
I remember the day that I was hired as an engineering assistant to a brand new rotomolding product we were working on. And by the end of the first day, honestly, I knew that I wanted to be in rotomolding for the rest of my career.